Ready for the class today. We're going to tackle something new here, which will be very important and relevant in your life. So let's concentrate and do this in a few times possible. So our topic today is going to be water treatment, and our major learning outcomes being two. That is one. By the end of this session, you as the trainee should be able to define water treatment. Then you should also be able to explain water treatment stages. So we'll have a bit of interactive session with you. I'll ask some questions. Let's cooperate. So let's quickly go by the first our learning outcome by defining the term water treatment. I see Mr. Tanu is in. Can you tell us what we mean by water treatment?
Water treatment is the process of improving the quality of water to make it suitable for specific purpose.
Very good.
Involve series of physical, chemical, and biological process.
Yes, very good. Yes, told us about water treatment,
Thank you.
a process of improving the quality of water to make it suitable for specific purposes. So there are many uses of us or purposes of water, but when we do water treatment, is majorly we are talking of a specific purpose, maybe for human consumption, that is maybe drinking, and it involves a series of physical, chemical, and biological processes. These processes majorly aim at removing contaminants, also pollutants, microorganisms, and undesirable substances from the water. So that's a clear definition of water treatment. So let's move to ultimate goal of water treatment. Why should we do this water treatment? The ultimate goal. Yes. So someone to tell us the ultimate goal of water treatment. Yes, over there, Mr. Clefas.
Ultimate goal of water treatment is to produce water that meets regulatory standards and also to make water safe for its intended application while minimizing environmental impact.
Very nice. Ultimate goal of water treatment are majorly two. That's one, to produce water that meets regulatory standards. Thus, it goes by the set standards, and it is also made there maybe majorly to make water safe for its intended application while minimizing environmental impact. We shall move to the reasons why we treat water. There's a reason why you should do this water treatment, and there are a number of good reasons. So we shall handle some few of the reasons, and I'll have Hillary will take us through the first two. Yes, Hillary, are you there?
Excuse. Some of the reasons for water treatment include the following. It is to make it safe for drinking and domestic use. Number two is to remove bad taste and smell. Number three is to remove pollutant sentiments from water and also to prevent diseases. Thank you.
Yeah, very nice. So one of the reasons is to make it safe for drinking and domestic use. You all know that you cannot consume water that's contaminated. So you have to make it safe first for human consumption and domestic use. Be it an animal out at home, it has to consume water that is safe for drinking. It's also very important to treat water to remove the bad taste and smell. No one in this generation or in this world can take water that has a funny taste or has a funny smell. Then there's another major reason, that's to remove solid sediments from water. We cannot consume water that has dust or solid particles like small pieces of stones. Then it is also done to prevent disease outbreaks. We shall have a continuation of these points. Someone else to take us through the 4 points on the screen.
The fourth point is to remove chemical contaminants
Mr. Tanu, you got lost from the air. I didn't get you reading the 3 points, the last 3 points. I only had the first one. But generally, what he has said is you can mute over there. You can mute. Uh, Another reason is to remove chemical contaminants in water, to improve flavors in water. Though some do say that water has no flavor, I don't know, but majorly we say that water has no color, it is colorless. But also a major reason of treating water is to improve the flavor, that it just have that normal good flavor, the one that you take, then you feel like it has quenched your thirst. Then we also have another reason as to reducing the cost of acquiring water. You treat water, for example, this can be done domestically, whereby instead of going to buy bottled water, you just treat it at home, then you can use it. So you reduce the cost of acquiring that water from the bottles of the shops. Then it's also majorly important to treat water to increase the amount of water available for use. Maybe you don't have plenty of much water, so you can treat the water that is maybe you say you have contaminated water, so you get it treated, then you make it available for use. So we shall move next to our next learning outcome. It was majorly to talk about explaining the stages of water treatment. After learning about importance of water treatment, what are now these stages of water treatment? How do we do it? So the first stage I will take you through. It is screening. The first process is screening and sieving. As you can you can have a brainstorm about this screening and sieving. It's majorly that's something to do with looking at or maybe figuring out to look at the to get these coarse objects and maybe the solids in the water so that you can remove them. So at this stage is where we remove any coarse objects such as solids in the water. That's majorly screening and sieving. Then who can tell us about the second stage?
The second stage is aeration.
Yes,
Aeration entails dissolving oxygen in water to remove bad smells and taste, and it also helps to inhibit bacteria growth in water.
very good. So it is the second stage is aeration, very important. Aeration, as well as you know, it is talks about dissolving oxygen. So you dissolve oxygen in water to remove that bad smell and taste. It's also very important because it helps to inhibit bacterial growth in the water. So that's the major two importance of aeration. That's talking of removing the bad smell. That's when oxygen gets into water, it gets out the bad smell and it makes water tasty. Then it inhibits the bacterial growth in water. We have the third stage, third stage being pH correction. Who can tell us anything about pH correction? Something you know? pH correction, I'll go through this. It's the whereby we have chlorine added to water to correct pH levels. That's just majorly pH correction. So we use chlorine in this case. Next, we shall talk about coagulation and sedimentation, whereby we here now we use aluminum sulfate, we add it in water. This causes agglomeration and sedimentation of solid particles, and therefore it removes the remaining solid particles. Then the fifth stage being chlorination, whereby chlorine is added to water now to kill microorganisms. This is majorly to keep water free from microorganisms. We shall now move to the sixth and the seventh stage, the seventh stage being the last stage. Let's talk about this sixth stage. This the stage is called filtration, whereby it's the last stage of removing solid water particles, whereby smaller particles are removed using fine sieves. Then lastly, after you filtered water, now it is safe, you will now have to store it, whereby is treated water is conveyed in the storage tanks waiting for use. We have a diagram over there. You can look at the diagram and get to know about the 7 stages of water treatment. You can see the first stage being aeration, the first stage being sieving, the next to the aeration, all the way up to the last stage where we add chlorine and then we store the water. Maybe from the storage is when we move to the home consumption, that small house. So students, that was our session today. I hope you have learned something. Thank you so much. Maybe an assignment I will send you, then you'll have to do it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.